Azimio One Kenya leader Raila Odinga kicked off his challenge of the presidential election results in the Supreme Court, alleging fraud and criminality and sharpening the political contest that has gripped the country. In the petition, Odinga is asking the court to nullify the vote's outcome on several grounds, including contention that none of the candidates surpassed the constitutional threshold of 50% plus one, and a failure by the Electoral Commission to tally results from at least 27 constituencies, thus rendering the result unverifiable and unaccountable. NTV senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Muredi begins our broadcast tonight.
The Supreme Court registry at the Milimani Court Monday was a burst of activity as petitioners challenging the outcome of the August 9th presidential elections trooped in to lodge their cases. As of this evening, the court had processed 9 petitions that have been lodged by different players, including a voter, John Njoroge Kamau. The petitioners argue that none of the presidential candidates reached the 50% plus one threshold to be declared winner in the contest. Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, the Azimio One Kenya coalition party's presidential candidate and running mate, in their petition, point out what they say are inconsistencies in the IEBC's numbers. In the petition lodged by Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, who are the presidential candidate and deputy presidential nominee for the Azimio One Kenya coalition party, basing the turnout at 65.4% of the total voters, as announced by the IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati, the total turnout rests at 14,466,780 voters out of the 22,120,458 registered voters, and not 14,213,137 as announced as the total number of votes cast, creating a deficit of 253,642 voters. More so, they contend that the total votes garnered by all presidential candidates gives a final tally of 14,213,027 votes against those announced by the IEBC of 14,213,137 votes, occasioning a difference of 110 votes. According to Azimio's petition, the IEBC also cannot account for over 250,000 votes, excluding those cast manually. Azimio also wants the IEBC to account for 140,000 votes, which is a difference between the number of votes recorded in the Forms 34C and those identified in the KIEMS kits. Raila and Karua say they will prove that the irregularities and errors in the 2022 presidential election were not minor or administrative or occasioned by human imperfection, but were from the beginning to the end conducted by what they called a rogue chairperson with a premeditated intent and objective of subverting and undermining the integrity of the electoral process in order to secure a fraudulent result.
The manner in which the technology that was used in the conduct of the elections was abused, and we have evidence where systems, networks, laptops, and the entire KIEMS kits were corrupted in order to achieve a result in favor of Mr. Ruto.
Azimio One Kenya accuses the IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati of jumping the gun by declaring presidential election results without tallying or verifying results from 27 constituencies, which, according to them, would tilt the final outcome. These constituencies are Mvita, Matuga, Kilifi North, Bura, Fafi, Wajir North, Eldas, Mandera West, Tigania East, Mbere North, Ndaragwa, Kapenguria, Kacheliba, Narok North, Narok South, Narok West, Kajiado East, Kandui, Nyakach, Rangwe, Ndhiwa, Suba North, Kuria East, Bomachoge, Borabu, Kitutu Chache North, and West Mugirango. According to the Azimio One Kenya petition, the IEBC had not uploaded in the public portal and made available for scrutiny and verification the Forms 34A from the 27 constituencies, making it difficult for them to vouch for the final count. Raila and his co-petitioner Martha Karua are seeking 23 reliefs from the Supreme Court, including an order for inspection of the IEBC servers and scrutiny of the rejected and spoiled votes. They also want a forensic audit of the KIEMS kits, the IEBC portal and the presidential forms. They also want an order compelling the IEBC to organize a fresh presidential election in strict conformity with the Constitution and the Elections Act, and not presided over by IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati.
We are accusing Chebukati of criminal conduct, of transgressions that amount to violation of leadership and integrity requirements as spelled out in our Constitution.
The petition lodged by Raila Odinga and Martha Karua on behalf of the Azimio One Kenya coalition largely places blame on Wafula Chebukati, the chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, accusing him of usurping all the roles and powers of all the other commissioners. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV at the Milimani Court in Nairobi County.